So we apologize for the delay in our broadcast. Some technical difficulties out of our control, but the good news is we're online and we're off and rolling with the MCW Starz and the City Rocks 17U matchup. So glad to have you with us. This is the second time we've seen these teams today, and we're off to a good start.
Graber just finished a nice layup, and two real contrasting styles when you think about City Rocks being an execution team. They look to get what they want in the half court. They will look to push in transition if the opportunity presents itself. And the Starz just super aggressive. In that first game we saw really getting after it defensively and turning that into points against New Heights in that first game. But City Rocks off to a good start.
Yeah, I was going to say Maren Louridas knocks down the three from the corner, so you got a 5-0 lead for the City Rocks to get this game started. The Starz trying to answer on the other side. That's Nia Morgan, number 8. So appreciate you being with us here on Capital Region Sportsnet as part of the GymRatLive tournament. Brought to you by the GymRat Recruiting Index. Apologize for our technical difficulties early, but back on board and off and rolling, so thanks for being with us. Fifth game of the day. 4 of them to go now for Allie and I, and we're glad you're with us, as this will send the City Rocks to the free throw line, so you'll get Maren Louridas, a 5'11 class of 22.
And she made a great read, again, out of their 5-out offense, off of the brush screen away, just made a great read, curled to the basket, and tried to finish through contact, but wasn't able to, but got herself to the free throw line.
Louridas can't knock down the free throw. By the way, City Rocks victorious on our floor earlier today over the New York Royals. They won their game 64-48, and we had the MCW Starz win their game 49-47 against New Heights. That was our most competitive game of the day that we had a chance to see. And these teams will all get 3, some of them 4 games in this tournament. And what a great feed there on the bounce from Payton Graber. Bounces it down low for Chudy, and Natasha Chudy had a ball game. She was our player of the game the first time we got together, and that's a great start for the City Rocks.
Yeah, and speaking with Coach Huerter before the game, he really talked about execution and players understanding where they want to make the extra pass and what they're looking for out of their half-court sets. And he expected this to be a much closer game than the first one they had after the win that the Starz had over New Heights. So good start for City Rocks.
Yeah, no doubt. And, obviously there's a degree of playing in your own barn and playing in your own building, and there's a comfort level, and this is an Albany-based team and playing in an Albany-based tournament, so I'm sure they want to play well.
Well, but also give them a lot of credit. They're very fundamental, and they take what the defense gives them. If they're open, they're confident shooters. Within their half-court sets, they get good looks for each other, and when they're playing for each other, they're at their best.
So you got City Rocks jumping out to a 7-0 lead, and the Starz looking to come back. Starz with a nice victory earlier today over New Heights and found their offense. And it was a defensive game, but they found it what they needed to, and they found it in the form of Anae Adams, number 11. So we'll keep our eye on her when she checks into the game. Right now you got it with Kaliz, and that is Yarsi Kaliz who knocks down the three-pointer, and that gets the Starz on the board, making a 4-point game.
And speaking with Coach Rodriguez before the game, he made a point to say, one of our players has one offer from Northeastern at this point, but all these players are wide open and really excited to show what they have and be able to gain some interest from a lot of different schools. He mentioned a lot of schools are recruiting a lot of players, but I think when they get those first offers, that means something.
Well, and I think you had alluded to it, earlier in one of our broadcasts as they go inside and can't convert with Abigail, right? But that first call, that first offer, that first one is the one that so many kids, just wait for. That's the opportunity of a lifetime for them.
And it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to commit right away, but
sure.
It does take a little bit of the pressure off, I think, for some players.
Yarsi Kaliz with the ball on the bounce, feeds it, and contact nowhere to go up there. That was Jasmine Cooper, number 30. Who drew the foul and will head to the free throw line. 16-minute halves here at GymRatLive. Very brief halftime, so we keep the play moving, and we've gotten through 5 games so far today. This is the 4 remaining, I should say, and you got substitutions for the Starz coming in. Number 5 is Ashley Talbot. We saw 11 Adams come in, Anae Adams, and then 1 is Brooke Paquette, so those are the substitutions for the Starz. Starz in white and the City Rocks in their black and white uniforms.
I really really enjoyed speaking with Adams after the game. She just seemed really humble and about the team, but also confident in herself. And, said that her shot hadn't fallen for her early in the game, but she knocked one down when it really mattered. And
really did.
she was just a spark plug off the bench and just really brought, and she's young too, right? She's a year younger than some of these
She's
players.
class of 24, so yes.
Yeah.
And how about a 3 on the other side as Louridas has found her stroke in the early going of this game. But yeah, class of 24, so we talk about 22s and 23s, and she's a little bit younger than that.
Rising sophomore.
Yeah, and playing much bigger than that.
Finishing her freshman year, however you want to look at it, but yeah.
Paquette gives it off for Abigail Wright. Right for Cooper. Right with the back to the basket, working on Chudy. That will not go. There's Adams in there mixing it up. And, once again, you see a smaller size player in there grabbing for boards and trying to control. Kudos to her. Now she's going to match up with Jillian Huerter, and Huerter goes at her and goes up and uses the left. And we saw brief glimpses of Jillian in that first game, but nice to see Huerter get in the book here in the second game.
Yeah, she's got a quiet nature about her. I don't know if that's the right way to put it or not, but having watched her for so many years, she just goes about her business and fills up stat sheets.
And unselfishly gives it up there to Chudy, because that Jillian could have had that one for sure, but saw an open post player, dumped it in, and she converts that time.
I'll tell you what, Chris, in watching their practice, one thing that really stood out to me is Huerter's ability to pass the ball, and I think that's such an underrated skill. I think people get so caught up in, ball screens and can you break somebody down off the dribble, but she really sees the floor well and can pass it with either hand. And
at 5'11", that's a rare find, huh?
Well, she has the ability to play the point. I don't think she gets rattled, but she can also, with her ability to shoot the ball, she can play off the ball, and we've seen that in both games so far.
Graber uses the ball fake, gets to the paint, but then gets tied up. Now she's down on the deck, and you're going to have a jump ball call with the City Rocks jumping out to a 13-5 lead. Substitutions for the Stars.
It might surprise some people when they watch City Rocks get these leads, but it doesn't surprise me because they make simple plays. They finish layups, they make open threes, they do what they're supposed to do. And I think they do a really good job of understanding that it's team first, and they share the basketball and they execute. And we saw them get that backside layup a number of times on a baseline out of bounds play, but they set screens and they do the little things.
Something to be said for the fundamentals, and they do them well, right? Here's Jillian Huerter straight up, and that'll rattle around and go as Huerter last time down there got a assist and an open pass to Chudy. That time she goes to the goal herself and converts.
It's good to see her be aggressive and establish herself. And as I said, I think she has a quiet nature about her. That doesn't mean she's not a leader. That doesn't mean she's not the go-to player on the court. But I think for her to take the next step, there's times where she needs to be aggressive. This should be a 3.
Oh, I mean, who sees it coming? Who sees it coming better than you? Give me a break.
I'd have to figure out a way to scout her. That's why. That's why. That's one of those things, like, I don't want to have to play against you, so I'm going to try to recruit you.
Jillian Huerter makes the 3 on cue for Allie's call and knocks it down, and the City Rocks are off to a pretty darn good start here midway through this first half. Here's Jillian kicking to the corner one more time. Another 3 is up and good, converted by Louridas, and Louridas is having a start to the game. Give her 8 points in this first half of the first half.
And a nice find again. I think that might be 2 or 3 assists already for Huerter.
Yeah, she's playing well. I think Paquette can't get that one to fall. I think listen, I don't know if there's nerves in the first game, but it is, she played good. She played well. More aggressive here, game 2 that we have her, and you can see a difference in Jillian Huerter.
I'm not sure if they changed her starting lineup or not, but I feel like she started at the point the first time we saw them play, and I feel like he might have made a switch. They've already had a set of subs, right? Yeah.
They have rotated in and out. I think Jillian's been in there though.
She's been in there the whole time. But
yeah.
I feel like, well.
But in that first game too, Garber did a lot of good things too. So she was around the ball a lot too. So, but hey, first game we saw him, Chudy was the factor. They fed it to her. I'm not gonna say they forced it to her. They fed it to their post, and she converted. And there wasn't much need for anyone else. And Jillian has certainly come out aggressive in this game. And They built a 14-point lead. Brooke Paquette gives it away. Montestein had good minutes in the other game we saw her. That's Selena Montestein, played well in that New Heights game. How about a tough drive and one, and the reaction. Leon Aviles deserves a little bit of time.
Yeah, she was fired up after that. It was a nice finish.
Should be. Leon Marie Aviles, 6'1".
They need a spark.
Class of 23.
Got a little spark for the Stars.
Hey, whatever works for you. Oh, those shoes are tight, too. That shoe game is excellent. On Aviles at the free throw line.
You notice shoes, don't
I
you?
love shoes. Who doesn't? I am not a sneakerhead per se, but I respect really good kicks, and those are really good kicks.
Yeah, they're busy.
Have you seen any of my sport coats? So are my blazers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. 21-10, the score. City Rocks with the lead. 8 and change to go in the first half. And Huerter and Louridas have been the 1-2 combination so far for the City Rocks. Here's Jillian driving, has her pocket picked, taken away. Aviles tries to go the other way.
I think the runners of this tournament took away your dressing creativity by having us in matching outfits today.
It's also 80 degrees out today, and I don't need to be wearing a blazer if I don't have to.
You and me both.
You got pushing and shoving on the inside and contact, and at the end of the day, City Rocks are going to get a chance to inbound it. It'll be Grace Almeida. She played well in that first game we saw the City Rocks as well. Five with the ball is Michelina Lombardi. Lombardi kick into the corner for Huerter. Huerter on a baseline drive trying to reverse, but contact before that can happen. Good look at zero, Jillian Huerter. Catch and shoot off the inbounds, too strong. Backside rebound for Adams. Adams always around the action for this Stars team. There's Brooke Paquette. Ooh, hangs it high and gets it to fall. Paquette hung it out there and then kissed it off the window. Nice strong take from Brooke Paquette, 5'8", class of 23. Cannot convert the three-point play, and Huerter comes away with the rebound.
Yeah, those are big momentum plays when you can get a man one and add to it, finish the free throw.
Kick back, Almeida will not go. Backside rebound is up and off for Liz Muse, and then you got a rebound, or excuse me, then you got a foul on the inside. So 21-12 with 7.5 to go first half. And that will send Liv Muse, 6'1", from Vestal High School, class of 22, to the line.
It was interesting in practice the other night. Olivia Olson was in practice guarding Muse, and you could see start of practice. She was a little bit intimidated by somebody with bigger size, but you know, Coach Huerter really was on her about using her pump fake and going to her left hand, and I was really impressed with her ability to try new things. And I think this is a player who, as she continues to develop, you know, she might not be there yet, but she does some really good things, and what I got from it was that she was very coachable.
Mm-hmm. And that's obviously one of the many things we want to highlight, be able to point out to the young ladies that you're going to see on not only today's games, but tomorrow's games as well, that could be of use to you and your program. Step back three, open but unable to convert, is Aviles, but Adams is there for another rebound. She'll get another look for Aviles. This time she's going to go to the goal, going to get pumped up and under, get trapped, and then have to kick it back for Adams. Adams on a baseline drive, straight to the rack. It won't go. Fights for her own miss and gets it. Three-point opportunity. That will not go. And, man, that was, 3 possessions on the offensive glass for the Stars, and unfortunately, no points to show.
Tough, aggressive play. Really good read off of a step-up ball screen again by Adams to get to the basket and hesitate and get into the lane. And then to get her own rebound and kick it out to her teammate. You know, those are threes that – those are back-breaking threes to knock those down.
Paquette off the mark, will not go. So now you got Liv Muse pulling down the rebound, and the City Rocks going the other way.
It takes some time to get a good look, get the look you want.
Sofia Feigelson with it in that far corner. She had a good first game of the day as well, played very well, and Feigelson in there now today, or in game number 2. That's coming our way. No damage, no foul. Out of bounds, and you got a mass substitution for the Starz, who I think went 5 in, 5 out. A couple fresh bodies on the floor for the City Rocks.
Well, this is the second game of the day for both these teams, right?
Yes, and I was looking to see if they
had played a third.
Yeah, I was looking to see if they were on Rich and Isis's floor as well, but I do not believe they've been over there as well. And then they got a couple more tomorrow.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That could have been bad, but just mishandled it in transition.
So you got an 8-point game with 5.5 to go here first half. City Rocks with the lead over the Starz. Quilez feeds it off for Montestein. Quilez pulls the trigger. That's a little too far off the mark, and the rebound taken down by Graber. Graber's going to go the other way. Payton Graber spinning. Leaves it short, gets her own miss up and too strong that time. A couple good takes by Graber, who's frustrated with herself that she didn't convert either.
Good take, though. I mean, really solid handle in transition. Nobody stopped her to spin back to her left hand and stay on it and try to get the rebound. She's frustrated with herself, but those are 2 solid attempts.
Coming up on 5 to go, Quilez gives it off for Adams. Adams will pull the trigger and 2 hits. We saw in the last game, Anae Adams, when given the opportunity, will take the 3 and make big threes.
She's tough, Chris.
I like her. I really do.
And she's got a burst of speed and strength and toughness that translates at the next level. I mean, you know, I think just watching her play, the question is her size and her ability to see the floor at her size, but her explosiveness with the ball in her hands is pretty impressive.
So, the 2 things to that point is, you know, I know we're listing her at 5'8", so you know, feel generous if you want, but this is a young lady who's class of 24, so she's not done growing. She's got the upside, and at 5'8", she still plays as big as that, if not bigger. She's not afraid of, if she's undersized, it doesn't bother her, because look at her go right to the goal. So I don't think, you know, whatever they list her at or whatever she plays at, when the game comes, she's a little bit bigger than that.
She plays strong, and then, you know, for me, this is a new seat to be sitting in, but after I've seen just from personal experience, and I could be wrong, but after I've seen a player play once or twice, then I start to wonder, okay, what is she not good at? Where does she need to develop? You know, what are her deficiencies? If I'm playing against her, how am I guarding her?
Sure.
But she's got plenty of time to address those things.
Montestein strong to the goal. That will not go on the fast break, and Jillian Huerter will track it down and push the other way. 4 minutes to go. But yeah, you know, players at some point will start to stand out for you. Nice up and under for Jillian. Doesn't go, gets her own miss, then can't control it. Now you got Quilez running the other way. Can she control it? Yes, and she gets it to go. So you see Quilez with a really nice job to slow things down, haul it in, get it to go, and get her team a little bit closer. They trail by 6.
Just a really nice job to corral that pass, and a good pass ahead.
Been a couple possessions since she hit one, so Louridas, just to stay in shape, knocks down the 3.
We talked about this in the earlier game, but she's, as mentioned before, she's a really smart young lady, works really hard at school, straight A student. She's getting some Patriot League looks, and Coach Huerter expects her to get some more recruitment as the season develops.
Nice feed, nice find for Montestein, who lays it home. You got on the other end, after that 3, Louridas is up to 11 points in the game, so playing quite well here today. Jillian, up to the goal. She got hit hard, and Jillian goes down. I think it was Montestein that got her, and she was going for ball, and there was a lot of contact after the shot went up, and Jillian got hit hard. Back to her feet, and talk about walking it off.
She'll be all right. She's tough. You see, neither parent is making a big deal about it at this
point. It's a good point. It's a good point. Neither Tom or Aaron even made a budge for her. She got some watery eyes.
Off of that play, they've run that a few times for Jillian. That she ran kind of a brush step up ball screen for her teammate to go baseline, and they get a little fade screen action for her to catch around the pro lane. It gives her the opportunity to catch and shoot a three, or rip and go left with a shooter in the corner. It's a nice set that they've run for her specifically a few times.
So Jillian steps up, knocks down the first one. Huerter 5'11", Shenendehowa, class of 22.
Unaffected by the contact as far as making her free throws.
You love that. Talk about being able to brush it off, right?
Yeah.
Bounce off contact.
Well, she's the youngest of four, so I wouldn't expect anything less.
Adams lost the handle for a hot second, gets it back, kicks it to Montestein. Long cross-court pass. Now they're going to find Wright in the corner. She'll spot up and leave that three just off the mark. Abigail Wright, no. How about Adams in there mixing it up for a rebound? And you got a loose ball for Graber. Gets it to Huerter. Huerter's not going to get enough on that pass to get it all the way. And the Starz come down with it. Jillian, I could see where she was going with it, but you just couldn't get enough mustard on it to get it there.
Right idea. Yeah, just a little too much air under that pass.
Montestein steps into one. That doesn't go. Jillian tracks down the rebound. And Huerter picks it up and kicks it over to Payton Graber. Inside Chudy. We haven't seen them go to the post lately, and it's still open.
Well, and that was a great read off of a mismatch. I think in transition, she got caught with a smaller defender on her and really took advantage.
Chudy's got 9 after a really good first game of the day. She's having a nice afternoon here at the Capitol Center. She's about to have 2 more. Oh, she couldn't get it on the inside. Down low, she got too far under the basket, but Natasha Chudy was there and was open, and it was a good find from Louridas to get it to her.
Just great ball movement. I think the ball hit the floor one time off of one dribble to advance the ball and then make a quick touch pass. She just got caught a little bit under the basket, but really good ball movement by City Rocks to get the ball up the court like that.
We got a minute 35 to go here. First half is kind of cooked by here with the City Rocks leading 31-20. As someone's a professional at spending time in arenas like this, are you surprised? It's moved, huh?
It's been really good basketball. You know, there's been a good rhythm to the game. Hasn't been a lot of, you know, the fouls that have been there have been and ones. Nice release on that shot as well. So it's been a nice game. It's been a good, enjoyable game with a lot of different good action and players making plays.
Brooke Paquette hit the three the last time down for the Starz. That pulls them within 8. And now Paquette picks the pocket of Graber and was looking to go the other way, but fouled before she could leak out and go on the fast break. So Paquette back-to-back hustle plays, 1-3 and nearly a steal, and now will get her team the ball the other way.
Be interesting to see where the Starz go here under a minute, down 8. What are they looking for? He said they have a few quick hits that they run. Usually he just lets them go. We see some screening action here along the baseline for number 5.
Tabor's going to try and hit a mid-range floater. Won't go. Rebound taken down by Louridas. Kick it into the corner. Moving it around with 30 seconds to go.
Coach Huerter wants one shot.
So Graber with it, thinking about spinning, and tied up and fouled. She was trying to go on Yersi Quilez. And Quilez picks up the personal foul. So that'll come with 28 seconds to go in the first half, and the City Rocks up 31-23. Graber converts. Graber, a 5'7", class of 22 from Schalmont High School. Misses the second. Rebound taken down by the City Rocks. Muse goes in there and mixes it up and gets the board. And now if they do want to play for one, they can. Down to Graber, who got her feet taken out from under her, and she got wiped out. Now back up to her feet. 20 seconds to go first half.
Huerter's back in for Graber.
So you got Jillian back on the floor at 0. They'll inbound it underneath their own basket. Sofia Feigelson will be the inbounder.
I think we might have had a kickball there. Tough to see from where we're sitting.
I was going to say, tough angle from where we're at. We'll see if Feigelson can trigger it in here. Gets it in on the bounce to Huerter. Back to the basket turnaround, and she gets it to go. Jillian Huerter converts off the inbound. So now with 12 seconds to go, see if the Stars can have the last shot of the first half. Quiles is going to pull the trigger in a deep three, and it's off the back iron and no good, and that'll take us to halftime. City Rocks lead the Stars 34-23. At the break, we're back for more at GymRatLive after this.
So with the GymRat Recruiting Index, anytime a college coach interacts with a player profile, the system generates messages in the form of emails and texts that go to the player and the parent, alerting them that there's been interaction with the system. Those come in a couple of different fashions. The first one would be a search notification. That would indicate that a college coach has performed a search in our